Hello, everybody. Joining me here today is Delores Wallace. Listen and watch.
Thank you for having me on your personal or prominent section, Desiree. I am so glad to be here.
Yes, I'm so glad that you're here with me today. I want to start out by asking you a few questions about you and your life and how things have been going with your career. So you're currently a district parent coordinator for Essex County School of Technology, correct?
Correct.
That sounds really good, and I want to hear a lot about that. So tell us a little bit more about what you do and how you're involved with the educational system there.
Okay, I started here about 13 years ago, and I came in as the first parent coordinator, and I worked with the Newark Tech School, which is one of the four schools. And what happened is, over a period of time, they didn't have any parent involvement going on here. They didn't have no state federal regulations that was lined up to fall under the Title I because that's a must. So what happened was I ended up coming in, setting everything up, getting the policy, setting up a PTA, setting up bank accounts and that kind of stuff. And they kind of liked what I did at Newark Tech. So one of the superintendents came to me and asked me would I spread my service to the other three schools because it was working so well here. So lo and behold, I ended up basically going to the other schools and also mirroring the same thing I do at Newark Tech, which is parent involvement, parent meetings, parent training, and also, parent conferencing.
Oh, how neat. So you were doing such a great job and your performance was so awesome that you were asked to go do that in other places.
Yes.
Amazing. That's really good to hear. I want to actually take some time to commend you too, because anybody who, puts it upon themselves to invest in the lives of children should be commended. And I think it's telling of, your time and your efforts, and your dedication and your care, because it comes out in what you do. And if other people are taking notice to that, which they certainly are from what I've been reading about you and seeing about what's going on with you, then that's all the more reason to love what you're doing.
It is, Desiree, and I have to say, I started my career off as a parent coordinator in East Orange, New Jersey, and I came here and basically mirrored the same thing. But what I realized that there is a transition going on, and especially needed more now than ever for more adults to get involved with the local schools and become a part of, because the school is a part of the community, just becoming engaged with it. Because our young people today really and truly can use a lot of guidance. And not that the parents don't do it, but parents are often busy and you have a lot of single parents. So therefore, we still need to bring that community kind of thing back. Yeah.
Community is definitely important, Delores, so I'm glad you brought that out, because it actually leads to my next question with that, because you work with the young people and you see things every day, and we all know that children bring things to school with them that they take from home. And I'm not talking about things, material things. I'm talking about things that are emotional things. They bring emotional baggage to the classroom and the educational environment, just like an adult would bring to work. I mean, we have a life outside of school. So with that being said, what are some of the biggest hurdles or challenges that you come to know with the youth you work with today?
Well, the biggest challenge is the things that they face, you're right, in their everyday life and in their communities. But I had a great trainer. I had a great principal, and right now he's a well-known speaker. His name is Principal Cafelli. And he basically told me something years ago, and we had a staff meeting. We had a staff meeting. He was talking to the whole staff, and he said something. He said, kids come to school with so many things, and he said, what I challenge all of you do is basically take one or two of your students and just basically go through the neighborhoods just to see what they have to when they come to us, what they come to us with. And he said to us, and the other thing, I know we come through the door with our own personal life and things that's going on in our everyday life and home environment or whatever the case is. He said sometimes when we get to the schools, we need to check those things at the door. And check them at the door and come into school with a fresh start, a fresh anointing, being ready to listen to our children. And then he said, at the end of the door, end of the day, learn how to pick those things back up and take them back out, and then you can deal with your personal life. Because one thing with when you're in education, because kids come through the door with so many different issues, and sometimes things are, you can have a schedule, and something will come in and interrupt that schedule because a child come in and they need something or it's an emergency. You have to really and truly have enough sympathy and empathy to really and truly know how to talk to that child. And another thing, Desiree, it's important because kids are very spiritual, and that's one thing we don't realize. Kids know who genuinely care about them. So if you genuinely care about them, they will seek you out.
Yes, yes.
And that's one thing I noticed. They seek me out a lot.
Okay. And that's part of, who you are and how other people perceive you, because people don't approach people with personal issues and things that are, emotional to them if they don't trust you. You have to establish that trust, and I can tell that's the kind of person that you are.
Yes. You definitely have to establish trust, and also you got to know boundaries too, because in this day and age, there's so many different things going on in our community, especially the urban community and also the suburban community, where we have to really and truly have like more of a hands-on approach, but at the same time, the hand has to be held gently, because we don't know what the child may be dealing with, or may not, or probably will be dealing with. So that's why I say, I just know that if you do the right thing and they see you do the right thing, they're looking at you at all times. And they know. They just know. They just know that you're the person. I can go to Ms. Wallace and I can say X, Y, Z, and I know that she will help me.
Right. And so it's a big trust thing, and I really appreciate you saying that, because, excuse me, there are so many young kids these days who are dealing with, issues at home that are affecting their self-esteem, and they're affecting how they're even viewing the world. And it's a crazy world out there, but we have to understand at the same time that there are people like you who genuinely care and have concern and are able to take those children under your wing and, help to nurture who they are. And I think that's really important, which I want to talk about too, with, some of those challenges that you see with working with, these children. What are some of the more triumphant moments that you've experienced? Can you talk about maybe one of those?
Well, you know what? I can share one incident. It's more or less a lot of peer pressure. Pressure and self-esteem, being able to engage with one another, being able to engage with your own peers, the differences and sometimes in the children and the children background. But the biggest hurdle here is really and truly, and that's everywhere, is peer pressure.
Peer pressure, okay.
Peer pressure is at an all-time high. Mm-hmm. It really is. And that's when you have a child that basically want to do right, and they could do right, but they choose to do wrong. And then you have someone that's doing right and want to continue to do wrong, but they may be pulled in by that force. So, my biggest thing in dealing with kids on an everyday basis is peer pressure and also bullying. Bullying is another beast that we're dealing with.
Yes.
Yes.
I like that you called it a beast, because that's exactly what
it's a beast.
Is. And we have to get rid of that beast in all schools. I mean, for the sake of all children, no matter what grade they're in, no matter what race they are, because that's something where you want children to come to school, whether they're in third grade or whether they're in high school, and they need to feel safe. I mean, schools have changed dramatically over the years. I mean, we don't have to bring up every news story, but we both know, and everybody listening can both agree, we all can agree that we really need to look at more when it comes to security, when it comes to nurturing their development on all levels. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because you seem to be, and so to speak, a light at the end of the tunnel for some of these kids who are struggling, and they need that.
Desiree, yes, if you don't mind me saying this, I had a little incident, with a couple of students, and one of the students, and they were ESL students, and they came to me, and I was really kind of shocked, but the young lady wanted me to talk to the other two young ladies, And the good thing about it, just let me say, the good thing about it was I just came, when I was coming out here to do the interview with you, I saw the young ladies. And I said, how's everything going? And they gave me such a big smile. And I said, that means everything is wonderful. They say, yes, Miss Wallace. I say, you know what? On that note, I'm going to say I love it.
Great.
And that's what the stuff, it really, truly, that situation could have became another situation. But when they, you know, when she came into me and talked to me and brought the other young ladies in, I knew that could be something that could be resolved and end up being a good result from it. And that's what I like. That's what I like.
Yeah. And I know those moments, you know, make you smile. I know, you know, what you're doing.
Yes.
You know, I think you to be commended. It's hard work, and you're in there, and in the trenches is what I call it. You're in the trenches.
You're right. You're so right.
Yeah,
you're so
in
right.
the trenches. You know, we're battling for the education of our kids. You know, and it is a battle because we have these other challenges that keep coming, you know, at us. So I'm glad that you have moments like that where you can go home and you can reflect on the good that you're doing.
You're right. You're so right. You're right. You're right. And those are the good things that make you smile at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, thank you for sharing that with us. And so let's talk about these shows that you've done all of these years. In a few weeks, you're going to be doing an 11th annual fashion show. So I want to know, let's talk a little bit about, you've done these for so many years. So how did these shows begin?
Well, you know what, Desiree, this show began with one of my closest friends that I met when I first came here to Essex County School of Technology. His name is Van Williams. He's no longer with us today. After me and him did the fourth show, he succumbed to lung cancer, and he passed away shortly after he retired. And you know, we started this because we both had the same idea. We wanted to give kids something, not just a fashion show, but we wanted to make it an experience. We wanted to make it something that they can learn something from, and also that it builds character and confidence. So we started off with our first show. I remember we call it Fashion Misfit Boot Camp because we realized that we needed to take the kids to boot camp first.
Okay, I love that.
So we put together this whole production, and it went extremely well. The kids were so excited after they got finished. The audience was so receptive to it. So the next year we started building, and the fourth year, he passed away after we did the fourth show, and he asked me, you know, when he was going through, found out he had the lung cancer and the chemo wasn't working. He asked me to continue to do this, and I told him, I said, Mr. Will, I don't know if I can continue to do this without you. He said, you know what, Delores, I will always be with you. You just can't see me, but I'll be with you. And he said, as long as you put the kids first, that's all that matters. So what I did, I continued. And Desiree, I have to tell you, I don't have a budget for the show. I tell everybody, Jesus take care of the show.
That's right.
I'm going to tell everybody. Every year, I'm going to tell you, Jesus take care of the show. He will provide. I'm a strong believer, and he has been doing that. And every year, he has brought me someone that has joined me, at Tyrone Chablis. And he's very well known in the fashion industry up here. He's been doing it for over 30 years. He's a designer, and also he's a public speaker. So he's joined me about 8 years ago, and he started helping me out with the show. And, you know, each year I come to him with a vision, and me and him basically put it together. So it is a big production, but more so we love to do it because we love to see the end result for the students.
Yes, and that's the end result that everybody is waiting for, because it's accumulation of all the hard work that you guys have put in, and it shows, you know, your heart and your craft, and I love hearing that, how it's been going on for so many years. Now, the shows that you have been doing, because this is the 11th annual, do you remember the things that happened in the very first one you were on?
The things happened in the first one, you know, we just like I say, you know, that one we just basically did, and you know, we the setup was like we had a gym, and we did like a little VIP kind of reception kind of thing. We had the tables and the chairs to set up. Then we had the students. What was really and truly phenomenal. Reason why we call it boot camp, because the kids were seated around in the audience, and the audience didn't know. They had kids sitting around them, but the kids probably look a little quirky because what they had on, Some of them had on hair rollers in their hair. They had on a hair bonnet. They had on a robe. And basically what they did, and some of them basically came from through the doors and stuff. So what we did when we started to show off, we started the music, and automatically the kids got up and they started shedding as they went to the stage.
Oh,
so by the time they got to the stage, they was all dolled down.
Oh, nice.
It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. And you know, Desiree, I just had a student to come back really this week, and she was in our first fashion show. And her name is Jasmine, and she did the show in 2007, and she told me, she said, Miss Wallace, do you remember that show? I said, Jasmine, I remember that show better than I remember any other show. But that show was such a foundation.
Yeah.
And it got such a big reception. And, you know, we didn't have too many designers. I think we only had about one or two designers. So we went to, like, the stores and asked them, could we borrow clothes or could they donate clothes? And they did. We got a very good reception with that. And we have, and another thing that we have done so phenomenal is that one year, I think it was our 8th year, we had a connection with Street Exec Entertainment in Atlanta, Georgia. And they had a connection with Derek Blanks, who is one of the biggest photographers in the industry. So he basically collaborated with us, and he said, I will take one student, and we can fly her to Atlanta, and we'll give her a full photo shoot for the day.
Oh, how wonderful.
And we had one student that we surprised at the end of the show, where she got a round-trip ticket to fly to Atlanta. I went with her, and she had a photo shoot in Derek Blank's studio for the whole day.
How awesome was that?
That's, to me, that's what it's all about. That's really what it's all about. It's what the kids can get out of it, what they can take with them in life. And some of them basically took the fact that their self-esteem was higher. They walked away feeling that they can do anything they wanted to do. And it's not really about the fashion.
Right. When it comes down to it, it's not really about the fashion.
It's not about the fashion. It's all about working on the inner man and the inner self.
Yeah, and I like that you said that, because when that is taken care of, when you feel good on the inside, not only do you look good on the outside, but
yes,
everything that you do, it kind of shines through how you feel about yourself. And, you know, we all have seen children, and we've all seen adults who we know are going through issues and dealing with self-esteem issues, and you know, it shows. And it's not a very good place to be when you feel down about yourself. So if you're doing things in the community, which you truly are doing things in the community that are bringing up these children's self-esteem, not only is it going to make them a better person, but whatever they're dealing with in their life, when they get out and get their job, when they get out and have their own families, they're going to think back to those things. You know what, I used to be this way, but I have this person who, you know, builds me up and helped me see that there's more to life than just what it appears to be. People actually genuinely care about, you know, what I'm doing, and I like that a lot about what you're doing. It's great. So, and this one that you're hosting, the 11th annual Essex County Newark Tech Fashion Show, and the theme is Victorious, a decade beyond, and been there, done that.
Oh yes. This is turn up time, as the kids will say. Turn up time.
Turn up time.
You know, yeah, turn up time. You know, Desiree, you know, when I come in every year, and usually at the end of each show, you know, my team that works with me, they'll always ask me a question. What do you see for next year? And I said, you know what, sometimes God has shown me the vision, and then sometimes he won't. And he gave me a vision for this show. So when we started, me and my co-partner, I call her my co-partner, Tyrone started going back and forth with the theme and with the title, and he said, well, what do you see? I see drapery all around the gym. So we do it at the gym, but this year we're getting ready to drape the gym out.
Oh,
okay. You know what? Mr. Tyrone is making the drapes.
Oh, well, not only is he talented with fashion, he's doing some upholstery type stuff.
Yes. So, you know, everything that we do, just like I said, everything we do, it doesn't have a price tag attached to it, but it has a lot of favor attached to it.
Oh, yes, I love
favor.
Favor.
A lot of favor. So when I want something done, automatically God just brings people to me and it gets done.
There is a quote that what you just said reminds me of, and I'm going to look it up to make sure I have it quoted correctly, but I believe it says, Fortune favors the bold, and what you guys are doing is
Ooh.
very bold. You're being
Ooh.
favored because
I
when you
like
think
that.
about that, yeah, I love it. Fortune
I like
favors
that.
the bold. You're stepping out and you're saying, you know what, I'm going to do it like this because I know it's needed in my
Yes.
community. I know
Yes.
it's needed with these children, and I'm going to be
Yes.
bold. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it by the reins. I'm going to let it go where it leads me, and that's why favor keeps coming your way.
And you know what, Desiree, I'm going to share this with you too. You talk about the students. Let me tell you when you know you're doing something awesome. When school starts in September, and I walk through the halls of Newark Tech, you know what the kids asking me?
What do they ask?
Miss Wallace, you doing a fashion show this year? I'm in. You having a fashion show? We having a fashion show, Miss Wallace? Miss Wallace, we're doing a fashion show, right? And that right there, and you know, even if I said, okay, I didn't want to do it this year, okay, Lord, I ain't got no other choice but to do it because you done send the kids.
That's right. They're right here in front of you. You ask and you shall receive.
That's right. You send the kids, and that's what they be singing the whole time. Miss Wallace, we doing the show, Miss Wallace. What is our theme? I say it's a surprise.
I
love
that.
It's a surprise. Yeah.
I love that. You know, and that brings me to my next question because I know this year is already underway and you guys are all planning out because it's only a few weeks away. So tell all of the listeners and the viewers who are going to be watching this what to expect when do they have to try out for next year? How does that work? How do you get people involved aside from coming to you and asking you about it?
Well, each year we do go through an audition period, and we always try to do the audition in January, February. And the kids do come in, and we tell them, you know, they do have to come dressed in a certain attire. They have to have blue jeans, a white tee, or either black tee, and the girls have to have heels, and the boys have to have hard bottom shoes. So they would do. Yeah, they will come in. We'll set an audition date, like about 2 dates we'll set, and we'll have a panel of judges that's in the industry. We have teachers on the panel, and sometimes we have the nurse on the panel. It all depends.
Okay. It's a community effort.
Yes, a community effort. I mean, I got to pitch in. So we have 2 days of tryouts, and believe it or not, Desiree, I'm beyond.
All of that being said, I know it's going to be an awesome production, and I can't wait to see more about it. What message do you have for our youngsters today to take away from the reason behind you're doing all this? I mean, you explained a little bit earlier about it's not really about the fashion show. It's about other things. So if you were to give them one message to take forth, you know, in life after they graduate and after they are out on their own, what would that message be?
The message is that you are special, and anything that you want to do in life, that you can do it. Don't take a no as being a no. A no can be a yes. I like the fact that when we put the kids together, that they become a family. There's no peer pressure. There's no this one. There's no that one. It's us. So when you go forward in life, realize that there's sometimes things that will come in your path, but know that that's a test. And through tests, it brings trials, but through trials, it brings greatness. So once our kids leave here and do the fashion show and they go on and they do other things, I like for them to keep that in mind. And they do keep it in mind because they always come back and tell me what they fall back on and how the fashion show helped them besides fashion and help them to be a well-rounded individual. It helped them to be able to go out there and help someone else.
I love
that. That's what it's about. It's about the experience. It's all about the experience.
And experiences are going to go with us, you know, forever. And, you know, an experience, I tell people this when I do some of my own talks that, you know, experience is by far the best teacher ever.
Yes. Yes, it is, Desiree. Yes, it is. It most certainly is. And that's what I like for the kids to walk away with the experience.
Yeah, we definitely want to make sure that, you know, kids know that they're capable of doing anything that they put their mind to and not let anybody tell them that they can't do it. Because if they have it in their heart, they have it in their spirit, and it's something that they want to do, they just need to follow their passion and see it through. At least they can tell themselves at the end of the day that they tried.
Right. And I always tell them, you know, I have kids come to me that do this show, and it's the first time they've ever been in heels.
Oh, wow.
And they say, Miss Wallace, how am I going to do this? I never walk in heels. I say, I guarantee you, by the time you hit that runway, they would think that you've been in heels all your life.
Good. It's like a little baby fawn waddling for a little bit, right?
Yes. And I have one young lady. I always have a few of them that when they start off in ninth grade, Delores, Desiree, they do the show the whole 4 years.
I imagine, yes, yeah.
And they see their self grow, and I mean, even when you walk through the hallway and you see their self esteem. So that's what I said. This show, Desiree, if your listeners don't take anything away from this, and I hope other people can join in and do things like this, it's about the experience that we give our children.
Yes, and you are giving a great, memorable experience for years to come in the life of these children, and I'm just very pleased and proud of all that you're doing and that you continue to do. This is 11 years strong.
Yes, God, yes, Desiree. Our show is Friday, May 11th, and this is my 11th show, and it's Mother's Day weekend.
Don't you love that?
I love it. I
love the connection because you are serving. You know, I know you have your own family and these children have their own families too, but like you said, it's a community effort and you're like an extension, of, a mother to them. And it's on Mother's Day, it's 11th show, May 11th. I mean, how much more synchronistic can this get?
Yes. I was like, oh my God, he's awesome. He's really awesome. And I love the fact that what he used me to do in these kids' life on an everyday basis. I love the fact that the fashion show is not just a fashion show. I love the fact that the kids come into it with their eyes wide open and they leave out with big smiles.
Yes, they do. And I love that. I love it. I'm excited for all of you guys. So the 11th of May, tell us a little bit about where it's going to be held and the times and everything.
It's going to be Friday, just like I say, May 11th. The VIP reception, because we do have a VIP reception that starts at 5:30. The showtime starts at 7 p.m. We have one of the popular DJs from WBLS, one of the popular radio stations. DJ Qua is going to be doing the music.
Nice.
I have live jazz for the VIP reception for the parents. So I have a live trumpet player, King James III. He'll be giving them some music during their dinner.
Nice.
And then we'll go straight to the show. We have vendors. I have a celebrity a designer that may be coming in, Kimberly Goldson. She did our show before because she came over from Brooklyn, and she put some of her clothes in our show, and she did some, she designed, she dressed some of our kids for her show.
Okay.
For our show, and it was a tremendous experience. She enjoyed it, so she may be back this year as a special guest. She had just finished Project All Stars, and she was on that.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I have quite a few people that they reach out. We have one of the first African-American models that went to Paris. She's a school teacher here in Newark. She came through one year and did a whole workshop for our students.
Oh, I know they love that.
Yes. So Friday the 11th is filled of different things that's going to be going on, but fun things, and the parents are going to get a total experience. And at the end of the night, they'll be able to party a little bit too.
Yeah, so there's something for everybody then.
It's something for everyone. It's a family affair.
A family affair. I love that. So I'm going to put some information, for everybody to make sure they're able to remember the date and the place. And can you tell us a little bit about tickets? How can people get tickets to the event?
They can get tickets by emailing me at dwallace at Essex, ESSEX, TECH.org.
Okay.
Or they can call me at 973-412-2293.
That's awesome. I know you're going to have a great turnout, Delores, and it's going to be another show to remember, and you guys are going to recap and move on forward to the year after that. And I thank you so much for taking the time today to talk about your fashion show and the reason why you've been doing this for so many years and your passion behind it. And we really appreciate having you share that with us today.
And thank you, Desiree. And I just want to walk away with one thing. I have been doing a lot of different things in my life as far as my career is concerned. But one thing I've basically been given the name, and I started this little business myself. I've been given a name called The Plug.
The plug.
The plug.
Okay.
They say, Miss Wallace, when we come to you, you're able to plug us into what we need.
Oh, I love it.
I said, OMG, Lord, now you just...
You're the energy source. You know, you need to charge your phone. You have to put it in the plug. You gotta get recharged a little bit.
Yes. Miss Wallace, you're able to give us exactly what we need. And that's what it's about, Desiree. And I just appreciate you just giving me this opportunity, giving me your platform in order to talk about this. I feel so privileged. I feel like you're a blessing.
Thank you so much, and I feel the same about you, and I wish you nothing but the best, and we'll definitely be putting this information out for you, and I appreciate you again, and I know you got to get back and get with those kiddos, but thank you again so much.
Thank you, Desiree.
Have a great time.
You too. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.